Get Sidetracked.
Okay, welcome to Get Sidetracked. Today we're going to be talking about Morioka in Japan. It's northern Japan, and basically this is a city that I visited earlier this year, 2018, and I just wanted to describe what the city is like, and I kind of felt like a Denver feel, so that's why I'm going to title this as with a Denver theme. I'm going to be comparing it. It's a little bit like Denver, just a little bit, and the reason that I'm saying that Morioka is a little bit like Denver is because there's a crisp, cool air, and there's mountains in the background. There's 3 mountains near it. There's one very large one called Mount Iwate, and you can see it pretty much everywhere. So basically, with this particular city, it's kind of typical of Japan in that it's there's a train station that's the central part. The reason that it reminded me of Denver is because I came in late at night, and it just had this like crisp mountain feel to it. The air was very crispy. And also in the morning too, it kind of had like this fresh air feel. So I just felt like oh, Colorado, the Rocky Mountains, maybe like Banff in Canada. And actually, I even have this little sign here that is a Canada reference. They're doing some shared games of some kind. So here's the the picture of that. But basically, when I came in late at night, there's this bridges that go over the station. There's kind of quite a few bridges in general, and I think it's because there's a big river that goes through right next to the station, and it takes you over. Very typical of Japan, things that go over the station so you can get on both sides. And usually there's one side that's more central than the other, and Morioka is very similar like that. And when you're crossing over this main bridge, this is almost right in front of the station almost. You go over this river, but as soon as I look down the river, I can see paths that people can walk on. A lot of Japanese people, they like to do picnics, or sometimes they'll have the Cherry Blossom Festival. They'll have those kind of time of years where people just like to sit along the river. So this is also very convenient. You just come out of the station and you can just sit almost anywhere along this river. It's kind of like Kyoto, like that. Actually, a lot of Japan cities have that similarity, and it's the same with Morioka. It's also kind of typical of Japan. There's a lot of density around the station. The further you walk away, the less you get away from the density. But for a lot of us, we like that. We crave that urban density, and Japan cities are perfect like that. No matter what size they are, they're just perfect. So I was walking around. I walked around, to the perimeter parts, but the main draw to me was actually right where the station is at, right where that river is at, those bridges are at. And I have lots of pictures of the bridges. I'm going to show, the amount of people that come out of that station and walk up and down. Like kind of typical of Japan, there's a 7-Eleven. People can sit and have some food or snacks right out front, and Japan is filled with these kind of social spaces. There's also, you can also see these kind of, actually as I was walking around, there's the kind of funny things, like this one is strawberry cones pizza. Like, who would think of strawberry cones and pizza? But that's kind of what I like about Japan. A lot of people like about Japan, these kind of surprises, the way they use the English language in kind of different ways. So strawberry cones pizza. So I had to take a picture, but just kind of typical. You'd see little things like that in Morioka. But mainly Morioka reminds me a lot of like Colorado, like this beautiful mountain. And I have some pictures with a mountain in the background, and you can just look down the stream, and you can see one mountain is a big prominent one, and there's also 3 that you can see that are visible, 2 that are almost always visible, one that's a little bit further in the distance. So that kind of gives this Denver feel, the crisp of the air. So, okay, so that's basically all I want to share about Morioka. I do want to share that Morioka is also in the northern part of Japan, so it's very high near Hokkaido, and my other video, which you might have seen. The other place that's kind of near is Aomori. So Aomori and Morioka are very similar in northern Japan. So while Aomori was more on the bay and more connected to Hokkaido, Morioka is just a little bit south, slightly. But it's definitely more of a mountain feel. So I just feel like when I'm there, I felt like I was in the Colorado of Japan. It's really, really beautiful. Another beautiful small city, but just has all the things you could want. All right, so this is Get Sidetracked. If you like this channel, please subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel.